you put of availability that we have surprise with which. So let me execute.
What we're doing is 11, 12.
Let's go.
Here's how I went from this to this. Honestly, it was pretty easy with Stitch Fix, where I have a personalized style.
Go to the next one.
So we extend the
Question number 11.
XFS file system on
Here, it is
LV
asking us to
exam by
extend
1
the XFS
GB.
files. So what can we do? We will by 1 GB. So we need to extend it by 1 GB.
Plot LV
So what can we
exam,
do?
mount,
We will check for the spacing.
VGS.
First. So
We
this
have
is the volume group,
2G
exam. And
available.
here 2 GB LV exam LVM is of 1 GB. So we want to make it 2 GB. We want to extend it by to extend the volume, the size.
So LV extend hyphen L plus 1G. Dev VG exam,
so
LV
we have
exam.
successfully extended it.
Now you check it with LVS, 2 GB,
There is only 1 GB space
VGS.
available in the book. It is still showing it as of 1 GB. So here we will
But you have
execute
to
the grow fs command.
grow
extend it.
FS.
So here we can execute xfs underscore grow fs command. xfs underscore grow fs slash mnt slash lv exam. And here it is. LVM has been extended. Now we can see the details by LVM has been extended. Now we can xfs underscore grow fs slash mnt slash lv exam. And here it is. LVM has been extended. Now we can see the details by executing the f-h command. And here also it is visible. Now the size is showing up as 2 GB. So we are done with this question also. We can proceed further. Let's
Use
move to
the
question number 12.
appropriate utility, create a 4 terabyte thin
It is asking
provision
us
volume.
to create a 4 TB thin provisioned volume. So let's go to our terminal, check for the additional disk.
LSBLK,
So SDC is present
SDC
here,
is
but
present,
this extra disk directory is
8G,
mounted over there. So we will unmount it
extra
first.
disk is
So we can
mounted,
execute umount
unmount.
slash SDC command. Now again we will check.
No, it says there's 0.
By LSBLK. So the disk is there and the directory is not mounted. Now we will see the details by running fdisk-l for this slash dev slash SDC, and there are no partitions. We can use it. And now we will see the details by running fdisk-l for this slash dev slash SDC.
There's no partitions.
And there are no partitions. We can use it.
Shit.
To create a thin provisioned volume, we would require some packages which we will
Video,
install first. So we can
DNF
execute
install,
DNF
hyphen
install command for that.
Y,
DNF install
the package name,
VDO,
video, and K mod
hyphen K video.
hyphen K video.
So we will
These
install
are the
these packages
packages
from the mod hyphen K video. So
Unable to read, blah blah blah. So we did this
we
already.
will install these
You guys
packages
should
from the
understand this by
repositories
now.
that we have configured earlier. In provision
Install.
volume. The packages are getting installed. Let me go back to the paper and check the size. So here it is asking us to create a thin provisioned volume of 4 TB.
4 terabyte.
So that's not an issue. We can easily do that.
Okay.
The packages have been successfully installed.
Hi.
Now we can proceed further.
How you doing? What city you guys from? What city you from? I'm in New York.
Provisioned volume of 5 TB. We will execute the video.
Video.
VDO.
It's Linux.
Hyphen
Create
name.
hyphen
And here we will give
name.
the name. Let me give the name as video
Video
1.
1.
Then we will mention the
Hyphen
device.
hyphen
So we will mention
device.
the option hyphen device
24,
here.
mashallah.
Device is equal to
Nice day. What's up? Hi.
slash SDC.
What time is it? What city you
Then we
from?
will use
Okay, bye.
option
What city you guys
hyphen
from?
Video logical
Video logical
size. And
size.
here we will define the size.
Size defined
4 TB.
as
So we will write here
4
is equal to 4 T.
terabyte.
And after that we will mention here write policy is equal to auto and press enter.
A whole lot of
So
shit.
it is saying that there was ext4 file system signature detected. So what can we do? We can forcefully create it. So we will simply write here hyphen force. You don't need to mention hyphen force if you are using the raw disk, if there are no file systems present earlier. So have a look at this. We have successfully
So, voila. Okay.
created the thin provision volume, which is ready.
Good.
And we can see the details of the same by executing the
fdisk hyphen L
command. fdisk hyphen
Hi,
L
hi,
slash
hi,
dev slash
hi,
member slash
hi.
VDO1.
What's up?
And here it
What's
is.
up?
You can have a look at this. In provision volume of 4 TB is available here, and if I will execute the LSBLK command, there you can see the details as well.
Yeah, clean.
So we are done with this question
LSBLK.
also.
As a LSBLK right there in the SDC is video 1. That's 4 terabyte. It's 4T right there. It's 4T. Right here is 40.
See the details as well.
Around 35-minute mark, we're gonna go to like 40 minutes and stop.
So we are done with this
So
question
right now
also.
we're doing question number
We can
13.
proceed to
Configure a
question
basic
number
web
30.
server that displays
Here,
welcome to the class once
it is asking us to
connected.
create a basic web server that displays welcome to DNS service. We can execute DNF
DNF install
-y
-y HTTP. This is the
This will install
package.
the required
This is the package we need. He's gonna install it. Voila. Move on
HTTPD
forward.
package in our machine. If it is not
HTTPD package we're gonna
we
install
can
it.
start the
Clear.
service.
He
So
cleared
we can
it.
execute system ctl
System
start
control
HTTPD.
start
Now we
HTTPD,
can
enable
the same, so that the service can
HTTPD,
start at its own even
and then
after the boot.
status to
So we
see
can execute
status,
system ctl enable HTTPD
status
command, and we will
HTTPD,
verify the status of the same also by
and it's
executing
active
system
and running.
ctl status HTTPD command. So here you can see that the service has been enabled the same also by executing system ctl step.
And it will show you it's active and running right
So here
there,
you can see
active
that
and
the service has
running.
been enabled and is up and
Enabled,
running.
active and running.
Now we will go
CD
to
chain directory to war, www.html.
and there we can create a file with the name as index.html.
Oh yeah. With CD to chain
And in this
directory,
file, we can mention the same line.
and in here we're gonna just say welcome
If
to
you want
the
to store
class.
and
That's it.
paste this line.
And
After
yes,
that,
you
we
can
will
write a
save the
script
changes.
in this way
Now we
too.
will check the firewall rules. So we
Firewall
can
hyphen
firewall
CMD,
hyphen list
hyphen list,
all.
hyphen all.
So you can see that in the services option, HTTP and HTTPS are not present.
Shit. So you have to add it.
So we will add the services in the firewall. So we can execute firewall
Firewall hyphen CMD, hyphen permanent, hyphen add, hyphen service equals
and there we can define both
HTTPD
services
and
at the same time, or we can
HTTPS.
one by one define them there. So let me write here HTTP as well as HTTPS. Press enter. So both the services
Success.
are added. Now we can reload the firewall configuration so that these rules can get implemented. So we can execute firewall -cmd reload command for the same. Now we can see the details by executing firewall -cmd list all command. Here you can see that HTTP as well as X by executing firewall -cmd list all command. Here
Voila,
you can see
we're
that
almost
HTTP
done
as well as HTTPS,
for
both
today.
services are added in the
Even
firewall.
though we only did 7
Now,
minutes. I'm
let's
doing a fast
check
forward.
the details of the
Fast
page
forward.
that we created there in the //www.html directory with the name as index.html.
Let's have some
So it is
gentle
showing
Fidos.
as welcome to Nara
It
classes.
smells like
Now let's check the functionality of this web server. So we can execute the curl command.
soap.
Curl
Soap.
localhost.
Soap.
It will show us the same page. Welcome to Nara classes.
I don't
Or
like
we can
it.
execute the wget command. It will download the index.html page. Now let me try
Smells
to
like
access it
soap.
from the web browser. So let me
Artificial
open
soap.
Google Chrome here
Sabun.
and let me mention the IP address of my machine, that is 192.
Smells very clean though. Very clean. Very, very clean.
151 and press enter here and here it is. We can see the page there. Welcome to Nehra classes.
So you typed in the IP address
So
and
we
you
have
got it
successfully
there.
configured the web server as per the requirement.
Swiss Arabian.
Now, the question number 14 is find all files that are greater than 4 MB in etc directory and copy them to /find/large files. So let's create
So
a
find
directory
all,
first.
make
On root
directory,
with the name as find,
hyphen find,
and now we will use the find command to find such files which are actually greater than 4 MB
etc,
in size in etc directory. So I will use
hyphen,
find/etc. Then I will use option hyphen type here, and here we will mention F
hyphen
for the
type,
files.
F
Then
for
I will
files,
mention here
hyphen
size
size,
option, and here we will
4.
specify the size, that is plus 4M, because we are only concerned with the files which are actually greater
Nice.
than 4 MB in size.
And then?
So it will show us the files which are actually greater than 4 MB in size in etc directory. So there are only 2 files, and let me check the
And you
details
wanna
of the
put
first
this,
one, and here it is. It is actually greater
and now you
than
want
4 MB.
to put this.
Command, and now we will use the read. Now what we are going to
So what you want to do now is put them in a file
do,
called.
we are again going to use this find command, and now we will use the redirectional operator. We will use the angle bracket, and we will redirect this output
Now
to
you
the large
redirected to
files,
a find large files
file,
folder.
which will be created in
File.
this find
That's
directory that we have created earlier. Just press enter.
And then the output is not there because of course the
Now let's check.
output is
So we can
here.
execute the get command, get/find/large
Find large files,
and
and it's right there. Perfect.
here we can see the entry for such files. So we are done with question number 14.
Nice.
Now we can proceed further.
Alright, write a script named as Neharakla in the root directory on server 1. Oh, this is going to be a big script. If Nehra classes is given,
Now the question number
maybe
15
we
is
will do
we need
this,
to write
maybe
a
we
shell
won't.
script program.
Because I'm just going to take a break. 20 minutes remaining. I think we will continue tomorrow. 15, 16, 17, 18. But let's just do a little bit right now and I will stop.
We will create
It's a lot.
script with the name as Nehra classes.
If the arguments, anything else are empty,
And there We
So
will
we got
use different
if else
arguments,
statements.
and for
Let's
different
see.
arguments, the script should print the different output. Let us suppose
Let's
if
see.
I give the argument as Nera classes, then the script should give the output as Nera classes are awesome. If I give the argument as subscribers, in that case, the script should give the output as our subscribers are great. And if we don't give any argument or anything else, then it should print this output. So let's create the script argument or anything else. Then
The argument
it
is
should
anything
print
else or
this
empty, then the
output.
script should give an
So
output.
let's create
Please.
the script. We can use the VI edits. Then it
Subscribers
should print
to get
this
the output.
So let's create the script. We can use the VI editor for that.
What's
And
up,
we
nice
mention the
day?
name of the script
VIM
as
Neha classes dot sh.
We'll go in the insert mode and we will write here hashbang, slash bin,
bin
slash
bash.
dash, and here we will use the conditional operators.
Okay.
We are going to use if and else operators
If
here.
else.
So we will write here if, and inside the square brackets, we can define the arguments. Here we will first define the first argument. So here we can write $1 for the first argument, and we can write here
What the?
is equal to, and in the double quotes we will mention the first argument, that is Nehra classes. We will give the space there before and after the brackets, then colon, then we can write here then. So if we will give the Nehra classes as argument, in that case it should print the output
Then,
as
okay.
Nehra classes
Yes,
are awesome.
yes.
Let me check. So we need this output. So we can copy it from here and we can paste it like this. Now we will use else if condition here, and we will
Else
find the
if.
second argument. Let me copy and paste, and here we will mention the argument as subscribers.
Let's not forget that the worst pandemic that exists in the world today and has been the worst pandemic.
Our second argument is
Umar
subscribers.
Sulaiman,
Again, we will
liberal,
write that then, and
Jahil,
now we can define
Ahl al-Bida,
the output which we want to see
LGBTQT.
on the screen, and it should print
Our
out as our
subscribers are great.
subscribers are great. So we can mention the same there. Let me remove this additional double quote from the first one.
Yeah, why you did
And
that?
in other conditions, it should print the other output. So we will use the else operator and we can define the output. So let me copy it from here and paste it. Now we will close the if condition and we can save this file.
Hey, if you close it with FI. Can't really explain why, but you start with if, you close with FI. Yeah, I'm gonna get copyright.
The if condition and we can save this file. After that, we will set the execute permission on this file. So we can mention chmod 700 and the name of the file. And let's test the script now. Print the third, then define the argument to get the output. Now let's test it with the first argument. And the first argument is Nehra classes. This time it should print the output as Nehra classes are awesome. And here it is.
Hey,
It is giving the exact output which was required. Now again test it with the different one. This time we will mention the argument as subscribers. This time it should give the output as our subscribers are great. And here it is.
nice.
That means our script is
With
working
the
perfectly
if
fine.
else
Now let's
script
test it
statement.
with some other argument.
Test it with anything
Let me
else.
mention
Say
Linux as argument.
Linux.
So again, it is
It will
giving
say
the same output which was
To get
required.
the output,
So as
subscribe
argument.
to get the
So
output.
again,
Because this is not an output. Voila.
it is giving the same output
We're
which
done
was
with
required.
number 14,
So
15.
in all the other conditions, if we give the empty argument or if we
But
define
it's about
some other
understanding
argument
it.
here, in that case, it
We
is
will
giving us
understand
the
else if
desired
statements,
output.
don't worry.
That means our script is working perfectly fine. So we are done with this question. Now we can proceed further. We can go to the 16th question.
Create users
And here,
Vikas, Harish, John, and Andrew. All the new users should have a file named as welcome in their respective home directories after account creation. Quality. Why this is quality bad? Now we're
it
speaking.
is asking us to create.
Now we're speaking. All the new users should have a file name as welcome in their respective home. All user passwords should expire after 45 days, and there should be at least 8 characters in the password. User Vikas and Harish should be there in Indian group. If group doesn't already exist, create it. Users John and Andrew should be there in UK group. Nice. Very, very nice. Perfect. Perfect.
4 users, Vikas, Harish, John, and Andrew. And there are some conditions. All the new users should have a file with the name as welcome in their
Let's
respective
go.
home directory.
Then we're gonna stop
the account
after
creation.
16
The user password should expire after
or
45
17.
days and should be at least 8 characters. And the group. So let's go to /etc/scale directory and create a file in the etc scale directory. So let's go to, so first we will create a file and Andrew should be there in the UK group. Let's go to /, so only profile files are there. We can, let's check the files that are there. So only profile files are there. We can create a file here. So let me write echo welcome to Nehra classes, and we will use this statement to create a file with the name as welcome. And now let me check. We have successfully created the file here. Files which are present in the /etc/scale directory. We have successfully created the file here. Files which are present in the /etc/scale directory are copied automatically to the new user home directories. So let's open /etc/login.deps file in VI editor, and we will scroll down to this pass underscore dot
For password expiry.
deps file in VI editor, and we will scroll down to this pass underscore the maximum number of days
45.
after which the password will expire. We will scroll down
You change it to
to
45
this
days.
pass underscore max of days.
You change it to 45 days.
Here we can make it 8, and the rest
Perfect.
of the options are correct. We can save this file. Now we can create the user accounts. So we need to create Vikas, Harish,
Because
John, and
Harish,
Andrew.
John, and
So let's create these users.
user add.
User add Vikas.
Because
Now we will define the password for Vikas. Give the password 2 times. Now we will create the accounts. Give the password 2 times. Now we will create the account for Harish. So we will write here user add
this
Harish.
password for
Now define the
Harish.
password for Harish. Now we will create the user John.
John.
So user
So
add
add
John.
John.
Pass WD John.
Pass WD John.
Set the password. Now the new user
Andrew.
which we want to add is Andrew. Now we will define the password for Andrew.
And voila.
Okay, so we have successfully added these 4 users, and we can verify the same by the help of /etc/passwd file. So these are the users which we have just added in our machine.
Perfect.
Now let's
Yep,
go to the
we're
home
almost done.
directories and
There's 10
check
minutes remaining.
if
We're
we
gonna
can
take
see
a
the
break.
welcome file there or not. So let's go to
CD
the home
home
directory of the
because
class user first, and there we will execute the
ls
ls command, and
welcome.
here it is. We can
Right
see
there.
the same file.
Cat
Now we
welcome.
will go to the home directory of Harish. And
Harish
there,
is
this file
there
also
too.
present.
Welcome.
Now let's go to the home directory of
I wish you didn't just clear it.
Harish, and there
It's right there. Welcome. Harish too.
this file is also present. Now let's go to the
Now
home directory
CD
of John.
home John.
The file is present there also.
CD home
Let's go
Andrew.
to the home directory of Andrew.
It's
and,
right there too. Bismillah. Perfect.
and here it is. We can see the
So we're
welcome
gonna
file
take
there
a
as well.
break. 10 minutes remaining.
So these 2 parts are done. Now
Actually,
we
we'll
need
just
to
finish
add
up number
Vikas and
17.
Harish user
Oh
to
God,
the group.
no, no,
So first we
no,
will check for the
no.
groups. So we can open
Cat,
/etc/
etc group.
file, and here we don't find these groups. Let me grab the Indian group there. So
It's not
we don't
there.
find
You have
the
to
Indian
create
group,
it.
and UK group is also not present. Now we can add these groups first. So we can execute the group add command. Group add Indian and group add
UK.
Now again we will check if the groups are present there in the group file. So we can grab for Indian group there first. So Indian group is present now, and we can check for the UK group as well. So both these groups are present, and we can see the details by simply opening the group file as well. So groups are added. Now we can add the users to these groups.
Wow,
By simply
that was
opening the group file as
I
well.
don't think we're gonna
So groups are
memorize
added.
all this
Now we
for
can
the
add
test.
the users, the details by simply opening the
That's a
group
lot of shit for memorization. But
file as
understanding
well.
it is easy.
So groups are added. Now we can add the users to these groups. Either we can use the VI editor to edit this file and we can make the entries here for the users in front of the group lines, or we can simply execute the user mode command. User mode -a-g for the group. Then we can mention the name of the group,
Indian, and
after
name
that, I will
is
mention the name of the
Vikas.
user whom I want to add in this group. So Vikas is added to Indian group. Now I'm going to add Harish there. Now I will add John to UK group and Andrew to UK group. Now we can verify the details with the help of the ID command.
Nice.
ID Vikas.
ID
So Vikas
Vikas.
is the member of Indian group. ID Harish is also the member of Indian group. ID John is the member of UK group. And Andrew is also the member of UK group.
Nice. I think we're gonna stop right here. I think we're gonna stop right here.
And we can also see them there in the group file. So John and Andrew are there in UK group, and Vikas and Harish are there in the Indian group. So we have added the users and we have added.
So we will do
the groups, and
number
we have also
17.
added the users
And let's
to
rest
these
after
respective
that.
groups. So we are done with question number 16 also. Now we can proceed further.
Only the members of
Question number
Indian
17
group,
is only the member.
and then there's a create a cron job. आज ही करते हैं सारा
Members of the
यार.
Indian group should have
10 minutes
access on
remaining.
the /Indian directory.
Let's finish it
Make
up.
Vikas the owner of
Then
this
we'll start
directory
again
and
tomorrow.
Make Indian
Start
group
again
the
tomorrow.
group owner of this directory. So first we will create the directory on root with the name as Indian. So we can execute
Make directory Indian.
-Indian.
And make
So we
directory
have successfully
UK.
created the directory. Now we are going to change the owner. So we can execute ch-on. So we have successfully created the directory.
Make
Now we are
directory
going to
Indian.
change the owner. So we can execute
Chon.
ch-on command. ch-on Vikas
Because
Indian.
he owns
And
Indian.
we will mention the directory name, that is /Indian.
Nice.
Now let's check the details by running ls-ld command. So Vikas
Vikas is the owner of Indian. Nice. Perfect.
is the owner. Only the members of Indian group should have access on this directory. So here we can change the permissions also. And permissions,
Then
because
mod
we want to
Indian.
give full access to user and group. Again, verify the same. So now you can see that owner and group are having the full access while the others are having
No access.
permissions.
And
So we are done with question number
That's it,
17
nice.
also. Now we can proceed to question
only the
number 18.
members of the UK
Question number
group
18
should
is
have
only the
access
members
to
of
the
UK
UK
group should
directory.
have the
Make
access
John
to
the
UK
owner of this directory.
Make John the owner.
Make the UK
and
group the owner of his
the group
directory.
owner of this directory.
Nice.
So we can create the directory first. mkdir
UK.
After that we can change the permissions. chmod 770/UK. We will verify the permissions. So full permissions are there for the owner and group, and no permissions are there for the other users. Now we need to change the owner and the group from root to John and UK group. So we can execute ch-on command, ch-on John :UK/UK. Again, we will verify the same. Now the owner is John and UK group is the group for this /UK directory. So we are done with question number
Nice.
Group is the group for this /UK directory. Now the owner is John and UK group is the group for this /UK directory.
So we're done with number.
So we are done
18.
with question number 18 also. Now we will
The
move
new
to
file
question
should be
number 19.
owned by the group
And the question number
owner,
19 is
and only the
new
file
files
creator
should be owned
should have
by
the
the group
permission
owner,
to delete
and
their own
Only the
files.
file creators should have permissions to delete their own files. So first we will use the SGID bit there because we need that the file should be owned by the group owner
SGID
only.
bit.
So on both these directories we will use the SGID bit.
SGID bit.
We will check the permissions on Indian and UK, both the directories.
You can sell this $5
We're almost
spatula
done.
on
We have like
Amazon
7 minutes
and compete
remaining.
with hundreds of other spatulas.
7
So
minutes
on both
remaining.
these directories,
No,
no
6
special
minutes
permissions are
remaining.
there. So first we are going to set the setGID bit on the /Indian directory. So we can execute chmod
To
G plus
G
S
plus S.
/Indian. And again, we will verify the permissions. So you
Now
can have a look
let's
at this.
RWS.
SGID bit is set on /Indian directory. And now we are going to set the same on /UK directory. Let's verify the permissions. So on
Here we go. Bismillah. Perfect, guys.
this directory also, we have set the SGID bit. Now, it is saying that the file creators should have permissions to delete their own files. So here we need to apply this sticky bit. So how can we apply this sticky bit? That we can do with the help of chmod command again. Chmod +t/India. So we have set the sticky bit. Now let's see the permissions again.
It has a T next to his name now.
And here you can see this capital T is present because it is there without execute permission for the others. And we can apply the same on UK directory as well. And let's check the permissions there. So sticky bit is also set on both these directories. Now let's switch in the account of Vikas user and let's go to /Indian directory and let's check and let's create a file here. We will check the permissions on this file. So the file is owned by Vikas Nehra and the group owner is /India. It is the same group of its parent. And why it is possible? Because we have applied the SGID bit. Now let's switch in the account of the other user.
Shit. Perfect, right here. This is our last question. He's gonna explain this, and we're gonna be done. Man, what is this math question out here?
Now let's switch in the account
3 minutes
of
remain.
the other user,
Harish.
Harish.
So 3 minutes remain.
Let's see the files there. So rmt.txt file owner can
Only what? He cannot remove it. Because he's not the file owner. Only the file owner can delete the file. So 2
and
minutes
remove
remain.
their own files. And let me try to create a file here, harish.txt, and let's see the permissions on this file. And here, the owner is Harish and the group is Indian. It is because of the SGI.
Okay. We have 2 minutes remaining.
So we have done question number 19 also. The last question is
The last question. Create cron job that writes the practice exam was very easy. I am ready to clear the RCSA certification. Really? Okay.
create a cron job that writes the practical exam was very easy and I am ready to clear the RxCSA certification. Thanks Nara classes. And it should be appended to /var/log/messages file at 1 p.m. only at the weekdays. So what we are going to do, we are going to set the cron job for the same.
Cron job.
But before
Cron
that, let
tab.
me check
Okay,
the date and time in
date.
the system. It's 12:57. So we can set the cron job by running the cron tab -e command there. It's 12:57. So we can set the cron
Cron
job by running the
tab
cron tab
-e.
Check the date and time in the system. It's 12:57. So we can set the cron job by running the cron tab.
Yeah, half of my screenshots.
E command there.
I have like 1,000.
I can mention the time.
Over 10,000
as
screenshots.
1 p.m. We'll mention 00 there for
00.
minutes, 13 for hour, asterisk for date, and asterisk for month. And I want to print it only on the weekdays, so I will mention here 1-5 because 1 represents Monday and 5 represents
Monday to Friday.
After that, I will there echo. I will mention the message after the echo command, which I want to append. And to append this message, we will write /var/log/messages. And after that, we can save this file. Now, let's see the date and time. So nearly 1 minute is remaining for this job. First, we are going to check the cron log. So we can execute tail var log cron. And there, we can see the same message. In the cron log, that means the job was executed successfully. And let me show you the cron tab entry. Here it is.
Nice. Monday to Friday.
So
we
this
run
job will execute
at 1.
on weekdays at 1 p.m. So guys, we are done with the exam. We have completed all the 20 questions of the RxCSA 8 exam paper.
MashaAllah.
I tried my level best to keep the solution simple for you. I hope you will find this video useful for you.
You can sell this
Well, we're not going to restart right now. What we're going to do is this.
Hi guys, I'm here with another question. According to this question, you have to configure the hostname and IP address on a certain machine.
Most popular Linux commands from Cold Steel.
So, what we are going
We get a little more.
But now I need to write or redirect the output of the terminal in a file. How we can do? We can use the redirect run for execute the file or is.
So of course, which permission?
Needs to
What are
be
the different type of
provided.
permissions for
Question
file
number
and
33,
Linux?
which permission allow a user to run an executable file or a script? So I have just told you we need to provide
X permission.
X permission to the user so that a user can run or execute the file or a script. Now let's see some questions on the
Redirection.
How to write the output of
How
a
to write
command
the output of
into
command
a
into file
Okay, so generally whenever we execute a
with
command,
an arrow.
we see the output of the command on the terminal. But now I need to write or redirect the output of the terminal in a file. How we can do? We can use the redirection. You can see the example command and this greater than sign, which is used for the redirection and the name of the file. Suppose pwd is there. Okay, so you are getting the output on the terminal. If I can do this pwd and the name of the file, like PWD
Now you will get the output
text.
inside the file.
Okay, like this pwd text. File is
So you can do pwd, then you can do pwd.text.
pwd is there. Okay, so you are getting the output on the terminal. If I can do this pwd and the name of the file, like pwd.text. Okay, like this pwd.
It's right there, pwd.text. Next to the microphone.
Text. why this has been created. If I see cat pwd.text, so you can see the output of
The
pwd
output
command
has been
is
sent
written in this
with the
file.
arrow
Question number
command
35: how to write something in a file
without deleting
deleting
existing
the
content.
existing
2
content?
arrows.
It simply means how we can append a file
How to
without losing
append
our old data.
2
Okay?
arrows.
So for that, we just need to
Right
apply
there,
the
2 arrows.
double this 2 times greater sign. For example, if you keep doing this and cat pwd.txt, you only see one of it.
You only
If I
see
just
one.
do this,
Now you'll
okay,
see 2,
and this, and now if I do cat, so you can see
3.
it is appending, like it is adding the output. Question number 36: how to redirect an error of it is fine. To redirect both error and output.
This is important right here.
Because here both like output and the error of the command, so we need to do that like this: 2 greater than and 1. Quick example for the error: example cat abc. Okay, so abc means no such file or directory, because this file is not existing, so this is the
Error.
Like an error, right? No such file. If I just simply do this
It's not gonna do it.
pwd.txt example, okay, so you
Nothing.
can see that even after doing this, like the redirection, I still see this on the terminal. Why? Because it is an error. I see there was no output on the terminal.
So you have to do
And if I
2,
do
then
cat
arrow.
pwd text, so you can see that error was written into the file. Let's see some question about the automation. Cat pwd text, so you can see that error was written into the file. Let's see some question about the automation. Question number 37: how to automate
Cron
any
tab.
task or script. I can do it easily using the cron jobs.
Cron
And
jobs,
for the
cron
cron jobs,
tab.
we need to use the cron tab command or add command. So we can use either of these 2 commands to automate our jobs. Question number 38: how to check scheduled jobs. For
Cron tab
example,
-e.
someone already
Cron
created
tab
the
-l.
cron jobs is cron tab -l. Question
-l.
to check those existing jobs or tasks. So we can simply use cron tab -l. Question number 39: what is the meaning of this in the cron job? Actually, this is the pattern which
Run
we
every
provide
day,
while
every
creating the
second,
cron
every
jobs or
hour.
automating the task. Okay, so if we see the meaning of these, so the first star is for minute, second is for hours, third for day of month, which is the date 1 to 31, and the fourth one is for the month, which month, and the last one is the day of the week, that is the day Sunday to Saturday. If you want, I can create a separate video on the cron jobs. Question number 40: if your cron job didn't work, how would you check? For example, if you have scheduled your task and it didn't work, how and where you can check. So there are a few ways, but
You do check system time, you look from tab entry.
example, check the system time, that if it is matched with your scheduled time or not. Cron tab system time schedule service that keep running in the background.
What is Damien?
Okay, example HTTP, SSHD, or Cronity. So there are few services which always, all time, is running in the background as a service. Few questions related to services. Question number 41: what is daemon service? Service that keep running in the background. Okay, example HTTP, SSHD, or Cronity. So there are few services which always, all time, is running in the background. Even if you restart your server, it will again keep running in the background. Now, how to check if a service is running or not? Let's take an
System
example
control.
of HTTP service. The systemctl command. Systemctl status and the name of the service. So I can give you the demo systemctl status and HTTP service. So you can see that it is
Disabled. Nice.
or start any service. We have just checked how to check the status, and if
System
we need to start,
control
we can
start
again
stop. Service name.
still use the systemctl command. We just need to provide start or stop and the name of the service. That's it. And we can again use the status command to check if it is running or not. Now, some questions related to the system monitoring. Question number 44: how to check for 3 disk space? Okay,
Yeah,
these are also a
new.
very important part. If you need to check or monitor if the disk space is sufficient or not, so you can use the df command. Okay, so let me df command. So you can see the available memory.
Oh, I forgot that, huh? Well, I knew a df something.
For the disk space and the use, how many percentage it has been used already. Question number 45: how to check the size of a directory's utilization command. So suppose the directory need to check the size.
Du.
You can use the du. That is here, right? I need to check C. It is 136. For me, similarly, I can use the -h. So 3680. Question number 46. How to check the CPU use? You will see a lot of this. Okay, so CPU use utilization of your system. So just type the top command and enter. You will see a lot of it by different process. Okay, so questions related to an instance of a running team. Utilization will see a lot of this. Okay, so CPU use utilization of your system. So just type the top command and enter. You will see a lot of information. So CPU use utilization of your system. So just type the top command and enter. You will see a lot of information here. You can also see a separate column showing the percent process is taking the Linux server. So what is the process in Linux? Okay, or an application or executed to process is taking you and enter to search for a
How to check CPU usage for process? Top command.
process. Okay, so CPU use utilization of your system. So just type the top command and enter. You will see a lot of information here. You can also see a separate column showing the percent CPU. Utilizing or consuming the process in Linux. Okay, obviously, first question is
Running instance.
an instance of a running code.
Program.
Whenever you start a program or an application or execute a command, a process is created. And always, for every process, a unique number, which is called as the PID or process ID, is assigned to it.
This is the all-electric Nissan Aria.
Garbage.
Okay. So as we seen in the last example, you can see the PID, that is the unique ID or not. For example, you have started an application
System control
which is called
using
the process
PS
state,
command.
as we just
If a process application, not
covered that.
Practical.
Whenever you start an application, it is confirmed. If I simply call the PS, okay, so PS-EF, so it will give you all the running process like this. So PS-EF. So it will give you all the running process. Okay, so once you started your application, you may need fill command, and after that, you have to process your application. Is a unique ID associated with your process, so it will kill or terminate or stop your process or application. Question number 50: difference between kill and kill
-9 will
-9.
terminate
Okay.
a program
Kill -9 will
forcefully.
terminate a program forcefully. Okay, so if you only provide the kill, it will gracefully shutting down your
Gracefully
application.
shut down.
If you provide the -9,
If
it
you
will
do
forcefully,
-9, it will
terminate
forcefully
your
shut
program.
down,
So it
terminate.
depends upon the requirement. Sometimes you need
Networking
the forcefully
commands.
termination. Some question related to networking, some basic networking. Let's cover how to
I'll
check if
check
an
if
IP server
IP
is
server is
accessible
accessible
or
or not.
not.
Ping.
Right? If from your server you are trying to access the other server, that IP
Ping.
or a telnet code. For example,
Or
you need to check
telnet.
how you can check. So you can use the ping
Ping, Google.
and the host name on the IP. And if you see, okay, after using the ping command, if you see 0% packet loss, it means the successful connection.
Successful connection.
Successful connection means there is connectivity. Question number 52: which command to use to get info about ports?
Telnet.
We have already talked about the IP. Now let's talk
What
about the ports.
ports?
So if you need to get more information about the ports, you can use the
That's
net
tough.
state command. So here you can see
I
the
get it
example.
wrong.
If
I don't know how I got it
if you
wrong,
need to
but I
get
got
more
it
information
wrong.
about the ports, you
I guess I don't know. Shit. Netstat, bro. Network status. Ports are network related.
can use the net state command. So here you can see the example. If I just provided the net state -l, although there are few more options. So you can see some network connectivity like the TCP type of.
Netstat.
Put on Linux system. Okay,
Put
so
on.
again the next version of the net state. How to check if a port is
PUTM.
available or not available actually are open for the connectivity on your server or not. So we can again use the
Yeah. No, I did not know the whole shit, so what's the point? But I had idea of it.
net state command. Okay, so net state potan. Okay, so you can easily remember this potan, and then you can grab for a particular port number. So let's try this. Okay, so net state -potan and then grab 22, because if I need to check 22 port number is open or not, so I just click okay. So you can see the localhost 22 port is listening, so means it is open and listening to the connection. How to check the network the localhost 22 port is listening, so means it is open and listening to the connection. How to check the network interfaces in 2 port is listening, so means it is open and listening to the connection. How to check the network interfaces in Linux? So different network interfaces present. So we can use the if, config, and netstate command both. Question number 55, interfaces present. So we can use the if, config, and netstate command both. Question number 55, difference between telnet and SSH.
Secure.
Okay. So let's see the answer. SSH is secure and
Telnet is not.
Okay, that is the only difference. Actually, this is the most high-level basic difference. Although there may be a deep discussion about, but yeah, of course, a separate video can be made on these topics. Okay, so some questions about the SSH now. Secure shell. Which service should be running on server
SSD.
to allow you to connect remotely? Suppose you have a Linux server, right? Can you be running on your server? So that is a very simple
SSD.
question. So the name of the service is SSHD. And you can also see it's a very simple question. So the name of the service is SSHD. So if you can see it
Active.
is active shell that we already covered. Secure shell
The secure shell, communication and protocol.
is a network communication protocol that enables two computer devices.
Almost
to
done with
communicate
this too,
and
inshallah.
So in order to enable the communication between two servers, we need secure shell. Why this called is the data communication and the communication with
In encrypted format.
I have also mentored many top beginner trader students right here for the last
Two more
6
questions,
years.
and we're done with this too.
Alright, so in this video I will cover 16 leads. So if you can see, it is active. So we have the data format. So we have the data communication. So SSH default port is 22.
22.
Okay, 22. We have already seen one example like this. 22. So we have already seen the SSH service is active, and the 22 port is listening, means it is 22. We have port for SSH. So SSH default port is 22. Okay, 20.
One more question, we're
We
done.
have already SSH services list. Question number 60. Which command is used to access a Linux system from a
SSH.
terminal? We use this
That's it.
kind of syntax.
Subhanallah, we're done. Finished. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
SSH. After that, username, of course, in order to accept the username. If you want to transfer a large file, right? Suppose 10 GB remotely. 10 GB of file you need to transfer. What would be the first thing you will do? Like, or maybe we can call it a best practice you can do. So to transfer the 10 GB file, okay, so first thing we can do is to compress the file using the gzip command. Okay, and you can also see the tar and gzip command. So using these commands, we can first compress the file, reduce its size and can easily transfer it to the another location or server. And on that server, we can decompress or unzip those files using the unzip command. Alright, so that's all for this video. I hope you like this video and this series. I can create another second
Linux interview questions, and also we will look at the answers for these questions. Now, whether you're getting up for one have is what's the difference between a process and a So your process, it is simply an independent program that is running in the Linux operating system, and it has its own memory space for the execution. All right. A thread, on the other hand, is a smaller unit of your process. So it's basically your thread is inside or within a process, and it shares the same memory space. So process has its own memory. So if you have multiple processes, like a Java process, it will have its own memory. Apache process, it will have its own memory. Now within this process, we will have threads, which is sharing the same process. So your threads within the same process can.
But now I need Alright, so welcome to this amazing video in which we are going to cover a series, and in the part 1 it's already uploaded on the channel, in which I have covered the 60 questions in 30 minutes. Okay, so after this video we use multiple choice questions, case study based like the troubleshooting of the case studies, and conceptual true false as you can see on the screen like the automation. After every question you can write down your own answer as RHEL Linux.
Red Hat Enterprise Linux.
Most commonly used Linux operating system or
Red Hat
distribution
Enterprise
in the
Linux.
companies. So the answer is Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system. So it is an enterprise, so means we also get the tech support for any issues or market. So others are CentOS. Question number 2. Give some examples of
Fedora,
Linux
CentOS,
distributions present
Debian,
in the market. So others are
SUSE.
CentOS.
Fedora, CentOS, Debian, SUSE, Fedora, SUSE, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Debian.
Ubuntu, the most common and the most popular one. In the Linux world, kernel is the most important part of Linux operating system. Okay, so main component of Linux operating system and core interface between a computer's hardware and its process, between the process as possible. Question number 4 in Linux is used when the amount of physical memory, that is RAM, is full. Okay, so if the system needs more memory resource and the RAM is full, inactive pages in memory are moved to the swap. Question number 5. How to search a word? We can use the Vim editor or
SED.
in the entire file.
Entire
So
file.
there could be
SED.
different ways to do it. We can use the Vim editor also. I will create a separate video to show that. Although we do change, which is GRU. Question number 6. What is the SCP command?
Secure copy.
Or between two remote systems. Okay. So basically, if we want to move our use the secure use of FTP transfer protocol.
File transfer
to exchange
protocol.
the files to or alias and how alias to create the shortcut of the commands or the task. And using the alias command, we have assigned this big command to only this D character. So
Nice.
the next time, if we difference between upgrade and update. First, talk about the update. All the presently installed packages to their latest version that are available in the repositories. If we talk about the
upgrade will
performs the
update
same action
and
as the
delete.
update, but once finished, it will also remove all the obsolete package from the system. So when we packages, but how you like DNS, SMTP, this is used. Okay, for the DNS, it's 53. SMTP, default port is 25. FTP, it's 21. SSH, which is the most commonly used, which is 22. DHCP, 63. We use the RPM command. Here we are targeting and focusing on the Red Hat based operating system. So you can use the RPM, which is the Red Hat package manager. For example, I have the package name. For example, you want to search HTTPD. Okay, so here you go. So if that is installed, so you will get some result like this. If not, then it's not. Question number 12. Which of the following commands stands exactly at C?
Ping -c3
So we can use the
google.com.
-c option here and we can provide the number of packets, which is 3, and after that the URL or the IP. Question number 13. Which file contains a and after that the URL or the IP. Question number 13. Which file contains a list of groups name? Answer is etc group. Okay, so we can also see all the
And
user
then
management.
for passwords
So the answer
is
is
shadow.
etc
For user
group.
is
Okay,
password.
so we can also it looks like this. Group. You will see name of the groups and the IP.
Name of groups and IP address.
It is as well. Question number 14. Which of the following contains the value of the XDS command executed was successful or not? So we can and question mark, which we call it as exit status or not. So we can use this, which we call it as exit status, dollar and question mark. So you can simply use echo dollar and question mark. So if you see 0, so that means it's a successful. If you see any other number, so it is unsuccessful. So that is a way to check that. Oh, so that means it's a successful. If you see any other number, so it is unsuccessful. So that is a way to check the status of the previously executed command. Question number 15. Which command displays the number and type of processor used by Linux system? Okay, so it is related to the architecture. So to get more information about the structure command, or there is a file, it's proc and CPU info to get more information about the structure, like cat proc CPU info. So you will get more information about the CPUs and processor being used by the operating system. Question number 16. Which command should you use to get a list of connected USB devices? So here we have the 4 options: list USB,
LSUB.
USB LS, LS USB, and get USB. So the answer is LS USB. Okay. Question number 17. Which of the following environment variable is used as default argument for the cd command when no directory is provided?
Home.
PWD, home, path, or user profile. For example, cd script. Okay, like this. If was executed. So the answer is home. Okay, and also you can see if, and you can also see the value of home. A command following a semicolon will be executed no matter the exit status of the command that preceded a semicolon. Okay. So for example, we have provided 2 commands. So it is asking a command following a semicolon will be executed. For example, if even the cd/root is unsuccessful, will this command be executed? Okay, the second one.
True.
The answer is yes, true. So the exit status, let's see the valid values for the exit status. So you can expect the values between 0 to 255. Okay, so you can get any number. Expect exit status. So no. Matter. Let's see the valid values for the exit 55. Question number 20. According to the FHS, file system.
Var log.
So I can also, okay, so as per the standard, where should be the log file?
/var/log.
/log.
Okay, we're done. We'll stop right here. Let's see what he got.
So your process, it is simply an independent program that is running in the Linux operating system, and it will have its own memories. So your threads within the same process can communicate more easily, but the processes are more isolated from each other. So when we talk about a Java process and an Apache process, they're isolated. But when we talk about the threads which are within a process, they can easily communicate with each other because they are within the same process. The next question we have is which are each other. So when we talk about a Java process and an Apache process, they're isolated. But when we talk about the threads which are within a process, they can easily communicate with each other because they are within the same process. The next question we have is how does the strace command help in debugging? So the strace command, it's mainly a diagnostic tool that is available for us in the Linux operating system, and we can use this to keep it or trace all the system calls and the system signals. So this tool, it mainly helps in debugging and also showing which system calls a program is making. So if I'm executing a program, what all system calls that program is doing, we can get all that information by making use of your strace command. So what system calls it is making, in what order it is making the calls, and what are the return values, all that information sailing or where it is the next being, and we can also see the order in which it is doing the system calls. That's where we can make use of your strace command. The next question we have is explain how C groups or control groups are used in Linux, and also account for and support for make use of these like your Docker and Kubernetes, and this provides mechanically allocate the next question we have is what is C Linux and how does it enhance the security as to how much resource.
I don't understand this shit, bro. That's advanced. Yeah, I don't understand these advanced questions.
Needs to be allocated for security enhanced Linux and support on it. We can and the book of and this your C Linux videos can be managed. The next question with your system. So whenever we're talking about security.
I did not know any Linux commands when I joined my first programming job, and honestly, it was
Sahil.
quite embarrassing. Here are 5 commands that every programmer must know. I will not cover the very basic commands like cd or ls here. At number 5, we have chmod or change mode and chown or change owner. Chmod is used to change file permissions, whereas chown helps you change file owner and group. At number 4, we have man command that displays the user manual for other commands. At 3, we have grep command that lets you search for patterns in files. At number 2, we have ps command that tells you the processes that are currently running on the machine. At the very top, we have alias that creates shortcuts for other longer commands. I did not know any Linux commands when I joined my first programming job. لا تحزن إن الله معنا لا تحزن إن الله معنا لا تحزن.
Hello everyone. Then we have another command.
Hello everyone. This is one of the interesting questions which you will find in most of the interviews. And if you leave apart interviews, one need to understand the boot process. If in case you want to troubleshoot the Linux or any bad day you have to start with your server and you power up the server, then the step of event that happens is your hardware basically transfer the control to a program called BIOS. Now this BIOS resides in the ROM, so it has to perform 2 important tasks. The first one is post. Here it will perform the check of all the hardware component attached to your server, so that in case any of the hardware component is bad, it will stop system from starting and you will notice a beep of sounds. Once the hardware are good, then it will start scanning the list of bootable devices. Your system might be attached with a lot of devices like floppy drive, optical drives or USB or anything else. So it will start looking for the bootable devices in it. And it will start looking for the first sector, or you will say boot sector, which can provide you the bootloader. So once it can find the boot sector or the bootloader, then it will read the MBR on that disk or whatever device it is and load the program. Now, if you don't know what is MBR is, it's basically the first sector or the first 512 bytes. Usually it finds in the first sector of your bootable media. If it's a hard disk, it's part something as dev.hta or maybe something like dev.sca. Now, it comprises of first 446 bytes. Basically, it's a small low-level code that points to a basically bootloader, whatever it is grabbed up to, or anything else which on disk. It can also point to another hard disk as well. Now, the next 64 can be used for the error detection or even for the sanity of the media which you are using. Now, if we speak about bootloader, previously there was Lilo, so we would not discuss much on the Lilo, but nowadays it's grub, or the recent one have the grub too. So its major role is just to load the operating system. It's a program basically written in the MBR and /boot partition, and basically the hard disk, and it loads operating system. So this code in the past basically used to fit in the first 446 bytes of the MBR, but since the size is increasing, the complexity of the operating system is increasing, and sometimes we have to boot almost any operating system, the size is increasing with size. So the stage 1, now this one, then you will find that in stage 2, so it's a main grub image, and it usually resides on the file system in the /boot partition or at the /boot grub, whatever path it is. It usually read the boot grub, grub.conf, or in the old systems, boot grub.conf, for the configuration settings, that how it will load the kernel or something like that. And also, it will try to identify from the /boot or grub.conf, it will try to find the kernel and the init images. Now, what kernel is and what will perform later, let's see further. And kernel is booting. We can see a lot of messages, and it can be easily suppressible through a RHP coil hardware attached to the system. That includes something like processors, ISO systems, storage devices. Then it has to uncompress itself, so it starts looking for the init ID image in a predetermined location in the memory. Now decompresses it, mount it, and load all the required drivers for the next steps. LVM, RAID, because once init ID is removed or unmounted, it cannot be accessed. So it basically initializes all these drivers and then free up all the memory. That mounts root partition in a read-only mode and then frees all the unused memory. So everything is done. The root is there, but still there's no other steps remain with kernel 2. So the last step what it will perform is it start you a process that started with the PID1 in the previous Linux systems. That process is called init, but for the now the new systems, there is a system D. Now system D, if you say, it's a mother of all the processes and it's responsible for bringing the Linux host up to a state in which the productive work can be done. Some of its functions, which are more extensive than the old Linux program, are to manage many aspects of a running Linux host. It includes mounting file system, so any swap files or any additional partition will start mounting. Now, it will start having the access of /etc, so it start reading the file etc system D system default.target to identify in which default target I have to boot. Now, once the default target is like a graphic which is to boot, it start looking for the file for the required dependencies. And
people aren't as used to command line because we kind of got spoiled by Windows where you just click on stuff. I mean, you could do a lot with doing that.
I was going to say, they've helped a little recently with PowerShell. Now people are like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and the UI is also very nice with Linux. There's so many different ones now.
I think that's part of the confusion too when people say, well, what does Linux look like? I mean, and actually...
It could be only text.
Yeah.
It could be only terminal.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because Linux isn't all those things. Those are like a GUI front end for Linux. Linux just being the kernel. That's like the nerdy Linux thing to say as well. Linux is the kernel, and everything else is software that runs on Linux. But if you're going to use it as your operating system, it's going to have, X Windows or Wayland or, GNOME, KDE, all of those clicky things. And you're going to use things like Chrome or Firefox, and all of those work on Linux. And I think that's another thing that people get confused by. They think, oh, it's going to be completely different. Not really.
No, it's the same.
I lost a bag, I got a bigger bag. I lost.
Hello everyone. This is one of the interesting questions which you will find in most of the...
Everyone is talking about the most lightweight Linux distro, but what about the heaviest one? At first glance, this question seems to be kinda pointless. I mean, Linux can become as heavy as you want it to be. But there are two specific types of Linux distros that may fit the description. I'm talking about beginners-friendly distros like Mint and PopOS, and security-focused distros like CubesOS. The thing is, distros like Linux Mint usually aim to create the best possible user experience out of the box. That's why they come with all sorts of pre-installed software. Nowadays, Linux Mint requires minimum 20 gigs of storage, but for better experience you need to have at least 100 gigabytes. CubesOS, on the other hand, is a different beast. It allows you to create isolated virtual compartments with different levels of trust. It's kind of like having multiple operating systems under the hood. To run such complex and secure system, you need to have at least 16 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. Probably this is the...
Hello everyone.
I'm always shopping the Real. They drop over 10,000 new arrivals every day.
Gucci, Rolex,
Prada,
Louis Vuitton,
Hermes, Cartier, Tiffany.
Hello everyone, once again, welcome back to my channel Sarvagyan. My name is Dr. Lockdown Singh. And today we are going to continue the remaining question of yesterday's discussion. So the very first question here is, what is the difference between, for example, if you go to a file, and the particular file name is, let us say, touch abc.txt. This is the file name, ll-li. This is the command which we are going to use today in order to find out the inode. Let me remove this one, rm-rf system. Okay, now we have only that file which we have created, right? Okay, we remove this one, rm-rf system. Okay, now we have only that file which we have created, right? ls-li. Okay, this is the file name.
inode.
This is inode, this is permission set, this is number of hard link which is created, who is owner, who is group, the size, when the file is created, right? Okay. Now the time is looking something different, very like you can see in my output, that is 7:53. So if I run a command date, so right now the particular time zone is different. It is not IST, it is UTC, right? That is why it is one different. Okay. So now let us say if I have to explain the difference between hard link and soft link. So guys, whenever we create a soft link, let us say I'm going to define file ABC, and guys, this is going to be in cyan color. Moreover, this will be showing a particular L word written here, L character written soft link. Defines less tam, and abc.txt I define tam, maybe new.txt, right? ls-li. If I run this particular command, then guys, we are going to see that abc.txt and new.txt, both the files